hello students. Hi, good evening. Hope you had a good dinner. Okay, so sorry I had to make a replacement class today. It's because we had a short, our previous session, we couldn't finish what we wanted to teach because we took a bit more time explaining on the PBL assignment. Okay, so today's lesson is going to be actually quite short. So it's just a very short subtopic, which is 3.3. Okay, nutritional diversity in the nutrition of plants. Okay, so for today's whoever is here, please 5S4, please enter your name, full name in the chat comments box so that I know that you're here, and I will refer to the attendance later. All right, okay, and whoever else was here, okay, you're most welcome to leave your message here just to show that you are attending my class. All right, okay, so today I promise it's going to be a very short class. All right, it will not last more than half an hour. All right, okay, so first of all, I will share screen. Okay, right, Yanxin. Okay, so Yanxin, Chong Yanxin. All right, good evening. So I will share screen now. After you feedback to me whether you can see, okay. 1 minute. All right. Okay, Shui, good evening. Let me just, okay, wait, yeah. Pei Shan, good evening. All right, okay. I hope you can see this. Okay, so we are going to go to the last part of chapter 3, where we were doing the nutrition. So chapter 4 will be on transpiration. All right, okay, good. Yun Chi, Li Chi, all right, 5S4 girls. Yeah, just leave your attendance here. If you are, whoever, can I assign someone to help me take attendance? Maybe Yanxin. Yanxin, can you just have a look through the names here? Afterward, you just let me know who is not here. All right, just message me later, can because as I am teaching, I will not be able to look at the comments and so on. Okay, if you can, just help me to take attendance. All right, and report to me later who is not here or who did not manage to attend. Okay, right, let's go through this. Let's go straight away. Wei Shan, good evening. Right, let's go straight to this one. Okay, now diversity means differences, the kepelbagaian, the difference in the types of nutrition. So you have learned earlier the main type of nutrition for plants will be photosynthesis. Okay, the very fact about the important thing about plants is they are able to carry out photosynthesis to be able to convert light energy into chemical energy, which is like in the form of sugar, glucose, and converted into starch. And that provides a lot of nutrition or nutrient for animals and the other organisms that cannot photosynthesize. So now we talk about diversity. That means there are different types of nutrition on top of photosynthesis. So you have, okay, now first of all, let's look at what is the definition of nutrition. All right, nutrition is the process of obtaining energy, all right, and nutrients from the food. Right? And of course, the purpose of having food is so that you can carry out your living activities, your life activities that all living things can carry out, which is growing, right? Growth, maintenance, that means to repair cells which are already dead. So you can produce new cells to replace the dead cells, okay, and also the repair of damaged tissues. So here we are looking at 3 types, okay? There are 3 types of plant nutrition, which is on top of photosynthesis that you have learned earlier. So first of all, let's look at parasitic. Okay, you have learned that, I think, in SSM from 2 syllabus, I think. Parasitism. Okay, parasitism is a type of a relationship between 2 organisms, whereby one, I will put the positive sign and one put negative sign. Okay, do you know what it means? Okay, a parasitic relationship is, parasitism is kind of relationship between 2 organisms whereby one will obtain advantage and the other one does not obtain advantage. In fact, the other organism will be harmed. So that's why there will be negative. So positive, negative, that means one organism will obtain benefit while the other organism will be harmed by this kind of interaction. Okay. Now, one very important example, one very famous example will be the flower. This flower called Raphael. Okay, Rafflesia. Rafflesia is one of examples for parasitic plants which live by growing on other plants. And the other plant that they grow on is called the host. Okay, so you see this word here, the host. The host is the plant that gives nutrition. The host, it can be animal, it can be a plant. We call it the host. So this organism will be the one who's giving nutrition to the other. It's called a host. Host called peruma. Okay, so this Rafflesia will be absorbing nutrient from the host. So what is the host of this Rafflesia? This flower is called Rafflesia. They normally will grow at the base of a big tree. Okay, so if you see here, right? So this is a Rafflesia flower which grows at the base of a big tree, and the nutrient will be absorbed. The nutrient will be absorbed by the roots of this parasite of this Rafflesia. All right, it does not produce its own food because it does not have chlorophyll. It does not have photosynthetic pigments. Okay, so they grow on other organisms, which are the hosts, the plant, and the roots will be able to absorb. Then what they do is they penetrate the stem up to the vascular bundle of the host. So they go into the vascular bundle of the host, and the root will be able to absorb the nutrients out. So they will grow better, but on the other hand, the host will suffer. The host will be nourished. The host will be losing nutrients, so they might die. All right, if they're not able to support, they are not able to support or last through this kind of relationship, then the host will die. Example of this is called Rafflesia. Rafflesia is called bunga mayat. Something if I'm not mistaken, or pakma. They call it bunga pakma. And you know what is so special about this Rafflesia? Do you know it is pollinated by what? It's a kind of smell. It smells horrible actually. It smells like dead animals. The animal that it's like rotting meat. Rotting meat. Okay, the meat is already reput, fulan meat. All right. So it smells like meat. It will attract a lot of insect to come. Do you know what insect? And this insect is actually the pollinating agent for the Rafflesia. Okay, so I see some more students here already. Okay, Yunqi, Wei Shan, okay, Joanne, and then Yi Qin. Do you know what insects would like to come to this Rafflesia? They will love to go to this Rafflesia because it smells. So what kind of insect loves bad smell? Okay, can we type in the chat box there? Maybe I can see some of your comments. What kind of insect loves food that smells bad? So they will go to all these, rotten smelling things. So these kind of insects like to go to there, and then they will lay their eggs inside there and so on. So this insect actually helps to pollinate this flower. Anybody knows? All right, nobody knows that. Yes, correct. Sophia. Okay, Sophia is, I can't see what's your actual name, Sophia, because of you're not using okay, Yanxin. Yes, correct, it's a fly. Okay, fly loves all this smelly smell, right, aroma. So they actually are the pollinating agent for this Rafflesia. Okay, so just remember the example. Okay, so I have another picture of this Rafflesia just to let you see. It's actually this color. Okay, wait I'll just drag it up and make it bigger. All right, so this is Rafflesia with a lot of spots like that. Okay, polka dots. And the lilac will come inside there, and they love the smell. Okay, let's go to the second part. The second type of nutrition of the plants. Okay, so that's all you need to know about Rafflesia or a parasitic plant. Examples, Rafflesia species, and it may cause the host to die because the host will not get enough nutrient. Okay, let's go to the second one. Now, this one we have more examples. This is called epiphytic plants, from the word epiphyte. Okay, epi means it stays on top. Epi, all right. Phyte actually means, from the Greek word, it's called plants. So epiphyte are plants which grow on top another plant, and they are usually the plants which actually can photosynthesize. So they have their own pigment. They can carry out photosynthesis. So that means they do not need to absorb nutrients from the plants or the place that they stay on, the host. So you have a big tree in the forest, and then sometimes you will see a lot of small little plants growing on top of the branches, which is high up. Okay, so they are green plants. These epiphytes are green plants. Epiphytic plants is, this word epiphytic means is adjective, 形容词. Okay, so when you want to say correctly, you say epiphytic plant. If you want to say is what type of plant, you say epiphyte. Epiphyte is referring to the plant itself. If you want to talk about, you want to put the word plant at the back here, you must say epiphytic plant. Okay, so either you say epiphytic plant or you just say epiphyte. Epiphyte, epiphyte. So they are green. Okay, so remember, most importantly, they do carry out photosynthesis. So they stay on top of the plant there. It's not to absorb their nutrient. They can carry out photosynthesis. So actually they stay on top is to get what? Is to get sunlight. Yeah, okay, because usually in the dense forest, because of these big trees, they block a lot of the sunlight because big trees have a lot of foliage, there are a lot of leaves and so on. So they covers a lot of the area. So if this epiphyte do not develop the ability to be able to stay or to live on top of these branches, they'll be on the ground, they'll be on the forest floor. And that will be too dark for them. They may not be able to produce enough food for themselves. So they have evolved the ability to be growing on top of these big trees in order to get more sunlight. Okay, so when they're on top there, they get more sunlight, and then they do not absorb any nutrient from them. Just to tumpang on it. We call this tumpuhan tumpang. Tumpang is just sit there, all right? So they synthesize their own food. So they do not harm the host, right? Because they don't absorb anything, but they will absorb the nutrients that's accumulated in the gaps of the plant's stem. So it means like this. You see, because the plant, the epiphyte is very, very dense. It's like a lot of leaves there. So in the middle of the leaves there, normally when the rainwater comes, right, you have bits of soil and everything. So they accumulate a lot of soil, maybe, a lot of minerals, a lot of nutrient and water. So over there, they will be absorbing the nutrients from the gaps of the stem. Okay, because sometimes you see, look at this picture here. The plant, now this is a bird's nest fern. So in between here, when the rain falls, and then you will have some insects here, right? You make their nest and so on. So this part is quite rich. It's like you have a lot of this organic matter there. So they will use the organic matter for their nutrient. Okay, but they do not absorb the nutrient from the tree that they sit on. They just take in all this nutrient that is accumulated there because of the rainwater, because of the insects making their nests and so on, the insects that died there. So you have some nutrients there. Okay, now I'll show you some pictures. This is a bird's nest fern. Okay, bird's nest fern. This is this Asplenidium nidus. So you need to remember some names. Okay, Asplenidium nidus. This is bird's nest fern. Another one is staghorn fern. You don't need to remember the scientific name. You just need to remember the common name. It's good enough already. Okay, no need to remember scientific name. Staghorn fern. The fern looks like the shape of the leaf like staghorn. You know, staghorn, like the the deer, the tanduk rusa, we call it. This is called tanduk rusa pakis. What we call that? Fern. Fern is paku pakis. Tanduk rusa. So the shape of the leaf is like that. Okay, I'll show you some pictures. So these are 2 examples. Another example is orchid. 3 examples. Right here. This is your this is your bird's nest fern. So here you find in the middle here, all right, a lot of these nutrients will get accumulated here. So they will absorb the nutrients from there. Okay. And this is a staghorn fern. I think our school tree also got that. You see the shape of the leaf? It's like that one. Okay, like that, the shape of the leaves. So it looks like the tanduk rusa, the tanduk on the horn, the horn of the stag. Stag is actually rusa. So the shape is like that. All right, like that, the leaf. So they call it staghorn fern. You see all this? There's in the middle here, a lot of this brown color thing is actually the accumulated soil and everything. So it's actually quite rich there. It's rich with a lot of detritus, a lot of rotting stuff there. They will get nutrient from there as well, but not from the inside the tree, that they stay on. Okay, this is another example. This is Spanish moss. I'm sure some of you may have seen this. It's like decoration plants. Okay, so it's green. They produce they carry out photosynthesis, and they find that the roots are sometimes they're suspended. Another example would be orchids. Orchids, I'm sure you've seen before. All right, orchids do not need to be planted in the soil. Orchids you can hang. You can hang the orchid plant in a basu, in a what you call pot, and inside there you just put some pieces of coal. The root will come out. Okay, when the root come out, it actually absorbs some moisture from the air. It does not need any soil. So this orchid, because they make their own food, all right? It doesn't need any soil, and also it absorbs moisture from the air, absorbs nutrient, some of the moisture. So you can see that some of these epiphytes have swollen stem. Example would be the orchid. Orchid has swollen stem, so the stem is quite fat. They're able to store some water. Okay, so remember the point here, they do not harm the host, they make their own food. Synthesize means to produce, because they care for photosynthesis. They are always green. Epiphytes are always green. Okay, but parasites are not green. Parasites, they will not be green because they cannot carry out photosynthesis. Okay, so that's the second one. All right, second type of nutrition. Okay, third type is the most interesting one. Okay, I'm sure you have seen some plants. They are able to eat insects or eat small creatures that crawl into the plant. Okay, so these are called carnivorous plants. Carnivore is from the word, this word, carnivore. Carnivore are animals. Normally we say carnivore are animals, right? Carnivore is animals that eat animals. Okay, for example, tiger, lion, and so on. And snake, they don't eat plants. If they eat plant, they are called herbivores, right? Okay, let me see whether you have any response here. All right, so Yi, Jenny, yeah, okay, just came in. All right, Shelton, good evening, everybody. Yeah. Okay, so carnivores are animals. Usually we refer to animal, but you have a special group of plants which also can be called carnivores because they have the ability to actually trap insects and trap tiny creatures that happen to pass by and they fall into their place, right? And they actually can snap up and slowly digest the food, slowly digest the insect. So these are called carnivorous plants. They can also photosynthesize actually. So they are not like parasite. They don't absorb food. They also have got green leaves. But now in that case, why do they need to eat an insect? Why do they want to eat insects if they already can make food? They already can make food, photosynthesis, but they still need certain nutrients that maybe they don't have enough. Example is they stay in areas which the soil is not very rich. So if it's not very rich, the nutrient, especially nitrogen. Nitrogen is important. Remember we learned it before in our previous lesson. Nitrogen is important to prevent chlorosis. The plant will have, you need to have chlorophyll. In order to make chlorophyll, you need nitrogen. Lack of nitrogen will cause the leaves to be yellow. That's called chlorosis. So if you do not have nitrogen, another problem is you cannot make protein because nitrogen is needed to make protein. Okay, so you see, these plants usually stay in areas or the soil is lacking in nitrogen. So they need to get nitrogen from other sources. They can only make sugar. Sugar has got C, H, and O, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. In order for you to make protein, you need the additional element of nitrogen. And normally they will absorb from the soil, all right, from the soil. But if the soil is lacking nitrogen, that means they cannot make protein. So in order to prevent that problem, they have evolved a method of obtaining nitrogen, and that is from the insects that come by. Okay, let's see how it works. They have special structures. Okay, so one of the things is to attract first. They attract the insect by secreting nectar. Nectar is a sweet, sticky liquid that is like last time you learned it in the flower. Remember, at the flower, why do the bees go to the flower? It's because they want to collect the what we call 花蜜. 花蜜 in Mandarin, 花蜜 is actually the madu from the flower. Okay, in English we call it nectar. Nectar is the sweet stuff that the plant produces. This is to attract the insect. So when they come, all right, they have special structures to trap them. So one of them is this pitcher plant. Pitcher plant. The leaf has been evolved into a shape of a jug, a jug. And inside there you have enzyme, got liquid, your liquid, and that actually contains enzyme. So, and then the sides are very slippery. So the nectar is inside there. So the insect wants to go in and they will slowly climb inside there, right, to take the nectar. But because it's so slippery inside there, they will slip and fall. So when they fall, they drop into the water here. So let's say this water here. All right, this water here, that is actually containing enzymes, which can actually slowly digest the insect. Okay, they are slowly digested by the digestive enzyme, the liquid that is inside there. Okay, and then this trapped nitrogen, the purpose is actually to supply nitrogen. Nitrogen is important for growth because they need that to make protein, and you know protein is for growth. Without nitrogen, you cannot make amino acid. Without amino acid, that one is the basic unit of protein. Okay, so that's why because the problem is they live in the soil which lacks nitrogen. So they don't have enough nitrogen, they don't have enough substance to make protein. They have to evolve this ability to trap insect and eat them. Okay, that is the pitcher plant, right? There's another one. I'm sure it's more interesting, right? It's called the Venus flytrap, and they are able to actually the structure, right, is actually a modification from the leaf. So actually, it's already open, all right, and there's nectar there. That's why the insect will come. So when it touches any sensitive partner, they have a trigger. So when it touches that, immediately it will trigger the response that immediately closes up. Okay, now I want to give you a question. See how much you remember from your Form 3 work. What type of response does this plant show? The type of response whereby it closes like that. When you touch it, okay, this is touch. This is one of the stimulus is touch. So when the insect comes and touches a certain part there, this one will just like that. All right, this will close up and covers the plant, and it will be slowly digested. Does anybody know what's the answer for this type of response? You've learned it in Form 3 before. Types of response for the plant. Can I just have a look at your answers? What type of response does this plant show? Okay, there's one called tropism. There's another one called nastic. Did you remember? Okay, I give you the keyword. One is tropism. Trigo. Trigo is called Tigmo. Wait, another one is tropism. Wait. Okay, another is not nastic. Nastic response. T. There's a C here. There's a C here. Okay, something wrong with my pen today. I know something wrong with my pen here. Okay, so trigo is not trigo. It's called. I know you're referring to the word Tigmo. Okay, Sophia, Tigmo, but it is not the correct answer. Tigmo. You're saying Tigmo nasty. Oh yes, Tigmo is correct. Tigmo is correct. Tigmo is correct, but not trigo. So you change the word to Tigmo. Nasty is under this one. Nastic response. Yes, you're right. All right. Tigmo nasty. Yes. This is the response which is immediate. For nastic response is immediately. For example, there, remember the plant, there's one plant where you touch it, it closes up together. Okay, it closes up. That is the Hansi Chao. Okay, we call it the Mimosa pudica. So immediately when you touch it, it has the response of closing up the leaves. So that is called nastic response, and this is called Tigmo nasty. Yes, Tigmo is because of touch, correct. Tropism is different. Tropism is a slow growth. It grows towards the sunlight, for example, okay, when the sunlight is on one side. Or it goes towards water when the root comes from one side. Okay, the root will go to the water. Or because of gravity, the root will go down. That is called tropism. But nastic response is immediate and is fast. So definitely when you want to trap insect, it has to be fast. If it's not fast, you slowly close up like this, definitely the insect will run away, isn't it? So it has to be fast, it has to be instant. Okay, that is a nastic response. Okay, good one, correct. It's just that the front word was wrong. Okay, it's called Tigmo. All right, so let's look at some words here. So now I have two examples here. One is called a Venus flytrap. The other is called a pitcher plant. I'm going to show you some more examples. Okay. Now, so they secrete nectar. They can synthesize their own food. They carry out photosynthesis. They secrete nectar is to attract the insects to come. They trap their prey. They have special, what they call special parts or mechanism to trap them. So for the pitcher plant is the structure where they have a vast shape. So the animal drops in. But for the Venus flytrap, it's something like this kind of mechanism, a spring. Okay, so they're slowly digested by the digestive enzymes. The insect is going to supply nitrogen. It is going to be useful. Actually, the element is needed to make amino acid to make protein. Yeah, okay, so two examples, pitcher plant and Venus flytrap. So I want to show you, all right, other examples. So I've got this kidsnationalgeographic.com awesome 8 animals with carnivorous plants. So I'm going to show you now. Okay, if you want to see, there's another video inside there. I don't want to show you the video because it's going to take a long time and it's not really related to our lesson, but it's interesting facts. So maybe you can take a picture here to get your the address. On your free time, you can go in and have a look at the video. It's very interesting. Okay, I want to share the video, the website first to see the 8 types of carnivorous plants. Okay, let me check whether I've mentioned everything I want to say. Yeah, let's look back at the textbook. Okay, now track that. Yeah, okay. So you remember 2 examples. These 2 are the most important examples. You can remember others, so I'm going to give you other examples. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing from this slide and open another one. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go to, let me see. I'm going to go to this one. I share another one. All right, share screen. And I will share this one. Wait, hang on. I will share this one. Yes, I will share this. All right, I hope you can see. Let me know if you can see. All right, I'm going to show you this 8 awesome carnivorous plants. Can you see that? Can I hope, because I think I can see. I also can see. I'm looking at it already now. Okay, look at this now. This is a picture plant. This is a good website. Interesting. It's called National Geographic Kids. So you can just type in National Geographic Kids. You can find a lot of videos, animals. There's so many interesting, especially for your little sister, maybe so on. In fact, not only for this sister, I find it interesting enough. I'm an adult and I find it interesting. So I don't mind going to all this to learn about things. So picture plant. You can see the plant is green color. Okay, the plant is green, so it photosynthesizes. It has special features. So all that's left of unfortunate frogs caught by this plant are little frog slippers. The skin on the frog's feet is the only part of the plant that doesn't digest. Even small little frogs can go inside here. So the frog can be digested by this pitcher plant. Yeah, correct. Venus flytrap. Okay, you can see it look like gigi, looks like teeth like that. So they fly. There's a leaf actually, it's a modified leaf that is able to act as a spring mechanism. It will snap shut if its tiny hairs are brushed twice. So if the insect goes in and touches the brush, all right, 2 times, it will trigger the mechanism. Okay, next one. This is another pitcher plant. It's called a yellow pitcher plant. Also does the same thing. It will digest the animal that drops in. Okay, it's a meat-eating plant filled with rainwater. Bugs fly in, but they will not fly out. Okay, they are dead already. It's a goner. This is a cobra lily. All right. Bugs get confused with the translucent windows in the plant's leaves. They think they're escaping, but they're really flying deeper inside. So they enter this part here, right? It actually looks like cobra. You know what cobra is? The snake's head, So it looks like this, all right? Cobra head. So it's cobra lily. You see, it's all green. So they do produce food, right? Now, butterworts. Butterwort bristles have gluey hair. So they have tiny, tiny hair. They have tiny, tiny hair that snag the insect until the plant's digestive juices do their work. So it's green, all right? They also snag insects there. Monkey cup. This one in Cantonese, last time my mother told me, it's called monkey, ma lao sui tong. That's why I call monkey cup. It's actually ma lao sui tong. It's something like a pitcher plant. It's almost the same shape as a pitcher plant, but they call it monkey cup. Ma lao sui tong, okay? Insect larvae feed on the leftover found on the inside the cups of the plant. So the larvae, the insect goes inside because they want to eat the leftover food. Okay, inside the cups of these plants, the cups of the plant. So they drop in and it's very slippery. So they drop all the way down. Right? They will drop into the liquid. Australian sundew. They're so red. They look like water droplets. Okay, because they are little, all these round little things. So the bugs think that it's water, so they will go there and they want to drink the water. They look like raindrops, but actually it's a glue. So when they go there, they get stuck. All right, when they get stuck, and then of course that's the end of them lah. Habis already lah. All right, that is so interesting. And so many things that we can learn. Okay, big floating bladderworts. These plants live in the water, right? In the water, they are floating, right? They trap tiny aquatic animals in their cup-shaped leaf. So the leaf is cup-shaped and they trap the insects there. Okay? So these are 8. So you just need to remember the pitcher plant and the Venus flytrap. So there are awesome videos here. Okay. So there are a lot of videos here you can find. You just click on it. That's why I gave you the link just now. You click on this, you can see so many interesting facts about animals and plants in this world. Okay. It will improve a lot for your K-BUT questions. Sometimes because now our percentage of marks for questions in SPM has increased, it's going to be more and more K-BUT questions. And a K-BUT question comes from knowledge from the outside. You cannot score very well if you follow everything from textbook. That's why I really encourage you to go on these sites and really learn more about the world. When it comes to biology, it's about plants and animals and bacteria and the ecosystem. So it's very interesting, and it also helps you to answer questions actually. Okay, so get more of your time to go through all these sites and try to learn. That will help you in answering questions rather than to use the time to play too much of your computer games and so on. All right, okay. So yeah, is there any questions? I finished that part which I wanted to show, right, which is just 3.3. So that's why I promise you it's a very short, it's only about half an hour. So next week I'll continue, I'll start with chapter 4, which is the transport of water. It's a very important part. Okay, any questions, anyone? Any questions here? Okay, if not, later on I will share that this link of the address so you can go on and have a look at the videos. All right, okay. So any questions so far? Right? I guess not, huh? All right. So I will see you. All right. It's a good Saturday evening. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. All right. Tomorrow is another Sunday. It's one more day for you to rest. And I'll see you next week then. All right. Okay. Okay. So girls, I hope you have got your attendance. Everybody has written your names here. All right. I'll see you then. All right. So bye-bye, girls. Bye-bye. Thank you, girls. Thank you, girls. Bye-bye.